Hey everyone, welcome back to Miniature Painting 101, a series of videos where I teach you all about miniature painting. Painting miniatures. Yes. And this is part 57, batch painting, which is really cool. As requested by you, the subscribers, I will show a little bit and some hints about batch painting and some tips. So exactly what is batch painting? It's the million-dollar question of this tutorial. Essentially, it's painting multiple models at the same time, using one paint at a time, going through all the models, and then repeating this process with more colors. It's very handy if you want to paint many models at the same time. So why batch paint? That's a good question. And the answer is pretty simple. It saves a lot of time and paint if you do it correctly. First of all, it saves time because you don't need to constantly open bottles. You just put one in your palette, paint all these models through at the same time, and you're always painting. Your brush is always on a model. It's beneficial for similar color schemes. So if your models have similar color schemes, or you're painting a large squad of infantry that all have the same color scheme, it's going to be very handy. If they don't have the same color scheme, I would not recommend batch painting because it gets confusing and doesn't save that much time. Some downsides of batch painting are that it can be really boring because you're painting the same color through everything and then you just repeat, and also can be overwhelming. If you see a dozen or 24 models in front of you, they need to go through each one. It can be very overwhelming. So my hints for you guys, my big tips. Number one, find the sweet spot. And by this I mean the number of models that you are comfortable with painting at a time with batch painting. Typically mine is between 6 and 10 miniatures. Anything more than that, I tend to get either really bored or overwhelmed. Number two, take breaks as needed. A great time to take a break is after applying a wash or a shade, because that is the one time where batch painting, it might take a few minutes extra to dry. After you've done the last one, the first one may take a little bit longer to dry. The next hint is listen to something. Listen to music, listen to a podcast, listen to some videos. Listening to something will greatly prevent you from getting bored while doing this. It's a little bit monotonous with this paint job. And finally, paint with another person if possible. While painting with other people, it creates a great painting environment and allows you to batch paint with relative ease. And as I mentioned, one of the downsides to batch painting is that models tend to lose their individuality. So don't do this if you're trying to go for a higher artistic level. So today we're going to be batch painting these 6 orc boys. As I mentioned, I like to paint between 6 and 12 models at a time with batch painting. And as you see, I'm going to do the same color scheme. And today we're just going to cover half the color scheme, the 4 colors: Mournfang Brown, Mordaion Blue, which is an old school foundation color, Leadbelcher, and Agrax Earthshade. So of course we begin, and what I like to do is I like to line up my paints just in a row and keep them there. So we'll start off with the one farthest to left, and I like to line up my models as well. And of course we're going to take our Mournfang Brown and put it in our palette, add a little bit of medium to thin it down to get a nice consistency. But that's what I like to do, and as I use a paint, I move it to the side, and that way I can just keep a nice pace and a great, almost like a conveyor belt motion with my painting of models. Essentially that's what we're doing. We're just we're taking a very business-esque approach. So I take the first model, put it on my stand, and I'm going to paint the Mournfang Brown, just a model at a time. All the straps, the belts, his boots, his gloves, all with Mournfang Brown. So let's speed it up here because it's just me repeating the motion. So all I'm going to do is paint all of the straps on this model, and when he's done, I'm going to put him down and allow him to dry, pick up the next one, put it back on my stand, and continue on with Mournfang Brown. And as I mentioned, if you do this correctly, it'll save you a lot of time because because essentially your brush will always be on a model. And also, you don't have to really wait for drying times. So you see now, I'm putting on my second model, and I'm going to start painting the Mournfang Brown on it. And I'm allowing, while I'm painting the second model, the first one is drying, and by the time I get to the final model in the line, the first one will be completely dry, and I can proceed with the next color. And that's one of the ultimate benefits of batch painting. Plus, as you can see, I'm taking a very business-esque approach with this. I'm just staying with one color at a time, using all of it up in my palette, so I tend to waste a lot less paint while doing this. And since they're a bunch of orc boys and they're going to be a part of a huge green tide, you really don't have to worry about losing the individuality of a model. And now I'm on the next ones. As you can see, I'm already now 4 of them in. And I'm just going to keep painting them in. The belts, the boots, and all the straps. And now I'm done the group. It doesn't take very long. And when that's dry, now if you go back to the first one, it's completely dried from the first. And now that we're done all the lineup, we're going to take the next color, which in this case is Leadbelcher. Once again, give it a good shake and put it in our palette as always. And then I'm going to take the Leadbelcher and apply it to all the models in a lineup. Once again, pick up all the metallic areas. And that's the hint of that's essentially it for batch painting. Just one color at a time, go through all the models, and the key is finding that sweet spot, a number that you can keep going efficiently. But obviously, the larger the number of models, the more effective it will be. But if you get overwhelmed or really bored, it loses its effectiveness. So right now, I'm just listening to music, having a good time, and painting all of them one model at a time with Lead Belcher, going through that lineup. And when that's dry, I'm going to take my Mordion Blue and finish painting the pants and all the bands on their arms as well. So once again, put in a palette, thin it down slightly, and use it on all the miniatures. And that's the benefit of batch painting. Essentially, it's just going quickly and effectively. You're treating it like a conveyor belt at a factory, going one model at a time. And this is the best step. If you need to paint a lot of models in a short period of time, this is essentially the best approach, is batch painting. Rather than constantly have to change colors. And then finally, we're going to take our Ahrex Earthshade, put it in our palette, water it down slightly, and then apply it to all the miniatures. And as I said, this is actually a great step. This is actually where batch painting really shines if you're painting a large number of miniatures, because then by the time you're done painting the last miniature, the first one's almost completely dry, and then you can keep going, so not a lot of waiting time when applying shades. That being said, if you really want to take a break, this is actually where you should take a break after applying a shade, because it will take a lot of time to dry, especially if you live in a humid environment or it's a warm day. So then that way you can take your break, come back, reline up more models, or reline up the next paint layers that you need to do, and then repeat this process one model at a time with the batch painting. That's it. It doesn't take a lot of time, and with very little time and effort, I've already been able to paint these 5 boys. I'm not completely done them because they're obviously need to dry, and then I'll apply a couple more shades and colors. But that's essentially it. That is batch painting 101. Just take one model at a time, one color at a time, line up your models, line up your colors, and do that in as most effective style as possible. But the key is, do not get bored, do not get overwhelmed. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Miniature Painting 101. I really hope you enjoyed it, and it was asked for by you guys, so I really hope you appreciate it. And stay tuned for part 57, which is just around the corner, as always. But if you don't want to wait for next week, check out The Warp. Click on the link below for a free 14-day trial to my premium YouTube channel, where not only will we get to see the next 6 months worth of Miniature Painting 101 episodes, you'll get to see dozens upon dozens of start-to-finish painting tutorials, battle reports, airbrush tutorials, and just some awesome wargaming content. So go ahead and check out The Warp. I think you'll love it. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting, everyone.